Good evening. Welcome back to another episode of What's Your Story? Tonight we are sitting down with one of our favorite people of all time.
Oh.
Welcome to our show, Lisa Mills Casey.
Wow.
We've had you on our list to be here, but we know how busy you are, so I'm glad you have some time for us tonight. You are a busy lady. Every time I see you, you're booked for so many things.
Oh.
So,
Well, I guess I really truly feel blessed.
well,
Busy's good as long
busy-
as there's balance.
exactly.
That's key.
Exactly. So, did you grow up around here?
No, I'm a Midwest girl. I was born in Ohio, and my dad's job transferred when I was 12, went to Michigan, suburb of Detroit.
Yeah.
And then went to a private school up there, and when I started working, every single weekend was concerts. I spent every extra dollar I had going to see all the great music in Detroit suburb.
Oh.
At an outdoor venue mostly called Pine Knob, which,
I bet you saw a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel so blessed. And it was like the tickets were $7 or $9 then. They weren't what they are now, so.
Who did you see?
Oh goodness, I was actually going through ticket stubs that I found in an old wallet.
Love that.
And I know, I saw the Doobie Brothers, and I saw the Beach Boys multiple times. I saw Eric Clapton. I saw Peter Frampton when he had the long curly hair. Now he's bald, but and gosh,
He was on my wall when I was in high school.
Right. And we, gosh, it just went on and on. I couldn't believe that I still had the ticket stubs.
Yeah, that's really fun.
Yeah.
So, what brought you to Kennebunkport?
So I went to college in Indiana
Yeah.
and met my future husband there, Wes, and we hooked up pretty early in our college. He was a couple years older, but I started dating him when I was a freshman, and he was a junior, and that's the beginning of a love story.
Yes,
right there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what did you study when you were in school?
I was business administration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, not music.
No, I minored
was
in
just
music.
okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did. I had a minor, and I did private voice, private piano. I played the piano since I was 8, and so I continued that more for just my own interests than playing.
Yeah.
I didn't really play music
Yeah.
or piano out anywhere, but singing, I got right into the select choir, and the
Wow.
we were in a small group, and went to nursing homes and art shows and fairs and this and that,
That's so
and played.
wonderful.
Yeah.
So, and then was his family from this area, or?
Yeah, Wes was a Mainer. He
Okay.
was born and raised in Cumberland area, and always wanted to be a dentist, which
Yeah.
I think is amazing. Because when you're 7 and you want to be a dentist, I'm like, wow, your dentist must have been really great for you to want to be one.
Most childhood, memories that I have, not so much.
So he said that was what I'm going to be, and
Wow.
he pursued it. So he was pre-med and undergrad, and then he and I got married after graduation, and we went on to Indy, where he went to IU School of Dentistry, and then we came out here in 1986. So
Oh, wow.
it was a long time.
Wow. So, and then you started your family.
We did in '87. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wes Jr. was born, and what a gift, and it was amazing. And I got into Dale Carnegie training. I was a trainer and a sales rep for them for a number of years when I was a young mom, and that was great. I took all their courses,
Wow.
how to win friends and influence people, and always remember someone's name, which I'm so bad at.
I know. I'm getting worse. I used to be pretty good at it, or, at least I would, the face to the name, and now as time is going on, and I try to play games and things with, stimulate my brain.
Association and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
So, and unfortunately, Wes passed away how many years ago?
Yeah, so we were married 34 and a half years, so really all my life.
Yeah.
Because I'm not much older than that, no?
Yeah.
And he, cancer took him. That was actually in September. It'll be 9 years.
Oh my goodness.
So
oh my
it's really
goodness.
went fast. It's
Yeah.
amazing. I can't even believe that much time has passed, because
Wow.
you know, everyone still talks about him when I run into his
Yeah.
buddies on the street, and
Yeah, yeah.
and we still have just tons of memories. And his little grandson Wesley, who's now 4, talks about Grandpa in heaven, Grandpa Wes.
Yeah, yeah. And you have a daughter
Yep.
as well?
Allie, or Alyssa is her full name, and she lives in Boston. She's a buyer for
Okay.
TJ Maxx and Marshall's shoes.
Wow.
So she's always finding really beautiful, actually mostly, you know, athletic shoes. But she's doing great with her career. And you know, young Wes, who's now my son Wes, is just confusing when there's so many Wes's.
Right, right.
He's a dentist in town.
He took over the practice, or
He didn't. He actually
started-
purchased Karen Hall's practice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a great,
That must make you feel so proud, though, when you
Oh.
see, yeah.
yeah. And his dad knew that he was going to pursue that before he passed. So that was like,
Oh, how
Really
wonderful.
special.
How wonderful.
yeah, follow his footsteps.
So music sort of, did it keep you going? And
Oh my goodness. Well, I started singing when I was 3. In church, you know, I would always sing. You know, not just a shower singer, but in my bedroom, I'd be walking around and just
Yeah.
humming a tune, or making up my own little crazy, little weird song. And my parents were like, "You need to sing." So at age 3, I was in the front of the church, and my sister and I would harmonize together. And in the car, my dad would sing, and we'd do musical rounds. And so I kind of had a musical family, and it was always part of me.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I'm really grateful for my
Yeah.
music, though,
Yeah,
Mary Lou,
yeah.
because, you know, before he was sick, I started doing, in fact, it would be 11 years now, though 13 years, we started the Kennebunkport, and Tim Harrington said, "We need music in this town." And I had just sung with Women of Note at his
Right.
mom's
Oh,
memorial
yeah,
service.
yeah.
And Tim was like, "Well, the Kennebunkport Inn would be a perfect spot. And
Yeah.
I don't care if you have Women of Note every week, or we're a cappella, or you have a band." But so Sue Yates, who's in Women of Note, her husband, Brian, I knew him quite well, and he's a great musician. And then he introduced me to Jim O'Neill. And so between the two of them, we started Local Dish
Yep.
at Kennebunkport
Yeah,
Inn. And
yeah.
every single Thursday
Wow.
until March 13th of COVID 2020, we did it. So I was looking through all the records of all the musicians that joined me over those years. And I had 65 different musicians. So
gosh.
people would come sit in with us. They'd
Yeah.
bring their little drum kit, their djembe, their
Yeah.
shaker, or they'd bring their guitar, or sometimes they'd just come up and sing with us. And it was just super fun.
That
So
is
I thanked him for that.
That is so great.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Women of Note. Can you talk about that group and how it formed? And because I think when I first started working here at the library, I remember Fran Hayes. I remember a few
Yeah,
ladies that
love
were
her.
part of that group.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so special that you all had that unit and would just go around and make people happy.
It was amazing. Gene Strasdis had a group which was originally called River Tree Arts, and then it became the Sea Glass Chorale.
Okay.
But we were in it when it was River Tree Arts, and she wanted to do a cappella madrigal group. So we were doing Renaissance music, very unique, special, really tight harmonies. And we started practicing. So I was in my mid-20s when we started, and we had 13 members that were.
Wow.
I think there were 13 that tried out. And we all made it. So
That's very nice.
yeah, and I still run into Women of Note
Yeah.
members around town. In fact, just this morning, Beth Strasdis was at workout with me, and the women just became fast friends. And we actually ended up getting a new director out of Portland, Dennis Dobrinsky. So he was the only man in our group. But gosh, we got through the Gary's house,
Right,
the
right.
George Bush family, H.W. Bush. They found out about us through Jim Nance of CBS Sports because we sang for him for his birthday. And then Jim was like, you need to have these women over to Walker's Point. You would love them, you and Barbara. So we were introduced to the Bush family, and they invited us to private parties, and it was just amazing.
I remember sort of watching watching your relationship with Mrs. Bush, and it was very, very special. And you could tell that they loved you. They loved your group, but they loved you.
Oh,
so
nice. Well,
you could see that in just the way that there was a lot of respect and admiration.
Oh, it was obviously mutual, amazingly mutual. And it's so funny because I would run into Barbara in town, and she'd go, "Oh, the singer!"
Yeah,
and I'd be like, you know what? If I get one name in life to be called the singer, I am blessed because there's a lot of singers out there that are really awesome, and it's just a passion for me.
Yeah. So you play with a bunch of different. You mix things up with different bands. So you were in the Windmills.
Right, and that was a 5-6-piece band, and we did weddings and events. And when our saxophone player, Joe Rillo, passed, we were like, oh, we can't replace him. He was just too special and too amazing. And so the group decided to dissolve at that point. But we obviously are all friends, and we still play together. I'm going to be playing with Mark Gunter next Sunday at the Trinity Chapel down in Kennebunk Beach.
Oh, I love that chapel.
That
it's such a sweet. Oh,
yeah.
What a great setting that is.
Right, and it's a little fundraiser for them, even though it's it's just whatever you want to throw in the bucket, $1 or $5 or whatever.
No, what is the date of that?
And that's coming up this Sunday, the 21st of July at 5 p.m.
Oh, nice.
And so we'll be outside in the garden, hopefully.
And that's open to the public?
It is.
Okay.
It is. So
All
we'd
right.
love to see
Good.
anyone and everyone. And that's going to be just an hour, just 5 to 6. And Mark Gunter and I, and we have a amazing trumpet player from Chicago who has played with me over the years, Jude and Joel Brownstein's son.
Okay.
And so we hope that he's flying into Boston at noon. We hope he can get there by 5. Well, we'll see. And Mary Kennedy plays the flute.
Oh,
and
yes. I
she's
love
going to be
Mary.
coming. So and then we have Hal Hannaford
On the drums.
on the drum / cajon, whatever he brings with him.
That's great. That's so great. And
love
then
him.
you also play with Don Wessels.
Don, we have an Ocean Ave band.
Yeah.
We've been together 13 years, really since the beginning of Local Dish.
Wow.
And Don and I play at the Nonantum every Tuesday night. And so tonight at 6 p.m., you can come by the pool and eat at Latitudes Restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. The Nonantum is amazing.
Yeah.
And we'll be there every Tuesday till mid-September. Yeah.
That's great.
And then I'm in with a trio, Jim O'Neill, Brian Yates, and I. So we did not know what to call ourselves. A lot of people threw ideas, great ideas. But we just said, you know what, our names work. So we're Lisa, Jim, and Brian Band.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So, and you were fortunate enough to meet your husband, your current husband. How did that come to be?
Well,
Is that okay to share?
Sure.
Yeah.
My goodness, because that's my life now. It's what kept me, really going. He actually was one of Wes's best friends growing up.
Okay.
He's from Cumberland,
Yeah.
Forsyth,
Yeah.
as well, and he became a California resident through school. He got his PhD in California and met his late wife there. But he would always come back to Maine because his parents lived Falmouth, Forsyth, and to visit them and his brother who lives in Gray. And so we would see him every year. He would make a point of seeing Wes and Keith Casey, and he's a good man. His wife died 2 months after Wes.
Oh my.
So it was very, very sudden.
Yeah.
And here we were, both widowed at a fairly young age. None of us want to think in our mid-50s we're going to be alone.
Yeah.
And then, he was still working in Sacramento, so he was doing his thing, and I was living here and doing my thing with my great family and music. And so we did have a little interest, but it took a couple years for us to decide that we were an item.
Yep. Yeah.
And now he's out here with me. We just actually bought a beautiful home in Kennebunkport. And
Oh, great.
in the process of selling our Kennebunk Beach home, and this month, And then we live in his late wife's beautiful home in Baja, Mexico, which is 2 hours north of Cabo San Lucas. And we're on the Sea of Cortez.
Oh, wow.
And he's a windsurfer, kite surfer, winger. He actually loves winging. And so he does that every day in the afternoon. It gets quite windy, and I just sit up there and cheer him on. People say, "Are you going to learn?" I'm like, "No way." I'll just be up here and cheer him on and go hiking and singing. And I found musicians in Mexico that I play with, and we formed bands out there, and I do it the open mic. And
well, that's so great. So you have when you're not here in the summertime, you're there, and you have a life there that keeps you busy, but you get to relax a little bit more. And
it's very laid
that's
back.
So great. Do the kids visit when you're there?
Oh yeah, every chance they can. It's far, it's just not easy to get there.
Right.
But it's a treat when they come. And of course, with COVID, Allie had some time that she could work virtually, and she stayed with us, and now she's dating a really wonderful man, and they're quite serious. So,
wow.
Yeah, we love when they visit.
Oh, that's so great. That is so great. So this other band that you're involved with, it's an orchestra, actually, the Deep Blue Sea. So how did that group form?
Well, and I'm grateful that Wes was part of that, because he encouraged me to audition, and I did. Actually, the band had just formed, an orchestra of 17 members, and it was a retired professor from Berklee School of Music that formed it. It was his dream to have a studio orchestra, and he was looking for every part, from the strings to the rhythm section to the brass. We have 3 trumpets, and it's an amazing, talented group. Most people in the group are professional musicians. They either graduated from Berklee themselves, or they teach professionally, and they are on the top of their game. So I was so thrilled the fall before Wes got sick to audition and get in there, and he got to hear me perform a couple times with the group, and including at Walker's Point. The Bushes had us for a party. It was really special, and so we have gigs up and down the seaboard. Some of the members live in Massachusetts, and then some live in New Hampshire, and then there's a group from Maine, and so we rehearse a number of times a month, and we have about 15 gigs or concerts a year. Yeah, Christmas as well.
I've seen a few that will pop up, and I need to look at that calendar way ahead of time to get to one of those, because they just look so special whenever I see the photographs of that. So we have a producer over here, Mike Kelly, loves music, and so he tries to broaden my horizons with inviting me to Jimmy's Jazz Club every once in a while.
And we're playing down there in September. September 29th, I think. It's a Monday. Okay. And it's open to the public.
So I think we got a date, Mike, with our spouses.
Yay! It's going to be fun.
So great.
Yeah, we're so excited.
That group is playing.
Yes. The Deep Blue Sea Studio Orchestra. We've been there at Christmas.
That stage is not that big.
No, we were there at Christmas, and we had some members actually on the floor. It's tiny, but I tell you, the sound there, the professional crew, the lighting, we feel like it's a treat to play there.
Yeah, that is so great. So when it comes to music, you're driving in the car and you say, "Ooh, I want to play this. I want to sing this." Does that happen a lot? How do you pick your music?
Yeah, it's really amazing. With Don Wessels is just an encyclopedia of, someone can holler out a song in the audience, and he literally is able to go da 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 and pull it out and play his guitar, and I'm scrambling on my iPad trying to find the lyrics, a song I've never heard, so that I can throw a harmony in or something.
Wow,
and we have a lot of fun with that.
So technology really plays these days, it's not just about knowing how to play guitar, but all that other stuff
and being brilliant, he is truly, and all the musicians I play with are brilliant in their own right. I feel so blessed to be surrounded by nice, good people who were there by my side after Wes passed and kept me out of my pajamas, made me put my makeup on and get out of the house. In fact, 5 days after Wes passed, I was at Hurricane singing, and there was a lot of tears in that audience, but a lot of smiles and a lot of hugs, and just a lot of community support, and people were saying, keep doing your thing, Lisa. Just keep singing, because that was my soul food. That was what kept me going. And as far as you would ask the question about how do you choose your songs, because of Don and his wide range of music, we have about 1,500 songs on this wonderful program called Evernote, and we're able to tag it by the genre, by the year it was made, by the type of music, by the songs that we like, the duets, the solos, and it's really cool, and it just keeps growing.
That's so great. And I probably you have to think about your audience, like where you're playing has to play into that at some.
Absolutely. Yeah. I try to put a set list together, and we definitely deviate from it because I don't as much with Jim and Brian. We are rock solid, go from song to song, and those guys really like that continuity. They like to know what they're going to sing, whereas Dawn is very spontaneous.
You can tell, because I remember walking into Hurricane one night, and you both broke out in "Hello, Mary Lou." Like, what is happening?
We're like, oh yes, we have a chance to sing. My mom's name is Mary Lou.
I know. I remember you saying that. That was just so much fun.
Yeah, and it is. So. It's like, trying to figure out the key is important.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much for being with us. Keep doing what you're doing. We love you. We'd love to see you out and about. And it's wonderful to see you happy, and because I know that really nice. Some people do just sort of stop, and we're so glad that you do have this community of people that love you too. So
and you're all you've done in this community, and this amazing historic library, and Mike, and you've got your history with recording.
That's right.
Sharing your gift.
Yeah.
So we are really blessed.
We
to
sure
be
are.
Part of this town.
So we've got a date for Jimmy's Jazz Club. We're going to see you in September. Hopefully, we'll see you before that.
And we're going to be here.
Oh, that's right.
Twice.
That's right.
Yes, the Lisa, Jim, and Brian band's here.
Yes.
And then Ocean Ave band, Don and I.
To finish up the music series in early September. So
that's right.
Yeah. So check your calendars. Check our website, I guess I should say.
Yeah, because I don't remember the dates.
I don't either, and I should have written them down. So, but thank you so much, and best of luck with all that you do.
Thank you. And if I could just add, please follow me on social media so you can hear about when I play at Graves. But I've got the Lisa Mills Music, and I'm on Instagram as well as Facebook, and the Ocean Ave, as well as the Deep Blue Sea Orchestra and Lisa, Jim, and Brian Band all have separate pages. And I make myself crazy doing the marketing for it.
I was going to say, I don't know how you keep track of it all.
And sometimes I feel like I fall short, but it's out there, so please.
Hopefully it's all color-coded so you know where you're supposed to be. And
yeah, I get alarms on my phone.
Thank you so much. It's always such a pleasure to talk with you.
And you as well.
So, and thank you all for joining us tonight, and we hope to see you back here for our next episode of What's Your Story?